Roxanne, Cyrano and, for a moment, Sister Martha. Roxanne, without turning round, what was I saying? She embroiders. Cyrano, very pale, his hat pulled down over his eyes, appears. The sister who had announced him retires. He descends the steps slowly, with a visible difficulty in holding himself upright, bearing heavily on his cane. Roxanne still works at her tapestry. Time has dimmed the tints. How harmonize them now? To Cyrano, with playful reproach, for the first time late, for the first time, all these 14 years. Cyrano, who has succeeded in reaching the chair, and has seated himself in a lively voice, which is in great contrast with his pale face. It is villainous. I raged, was stayed. Roxanne, by? Cyrano, by a bold, unwelcome visitor. Roxanne, absently, working some creditor? Cyrano, I, cousin, the last creditor who has a debt to claim from me. Roxanne, and you have paid it? Cyrano, no, not yet. I put it off, said, cry Immerse, this is Saturday, when I have get a standing rendezvous that not defers. Call in an hour's time. Roxanne, carelessly, oh, well, a creditor can always wait. I shall not let you go ere twilight falls. Cyrano, haply, perforce, I quit you ere it falls. He shuts his eyes, and is silent for a moment. Sister Martha crosses the park from the chapel to the flight of steps. Roxanne, seeing her, signs to her to approach. Roxanne, to Cyrano, how now? You have not teased the sister? Cyrano, hastily opening his eyes, true. In a comically loud voice, sister. Come here. The sister glides up to him. Ha! Ha! What? Those bright eyes bent ever on the ground? Sister Martha, who makes a movement of astonishment on seeing his face. Oh! Cyrano, in a whisper, pointing to Roxanne, hush, 'tis not, loudly, in a blustering voice, I broke fast yesterday. Sister Martha, aside, I know. That's how he is so pale. Come presently to the refectory, I'll make you drink a famous bowl of soup. You'll come? Cyrano, I. Sister Martha, there, see. You are more reasonable today. Roxanne, who hears them whispering the sister would convert you? Sister Martha, nay, not I. Cyrano, hold. But it's true. You preach to me no more, you, once so glib with holy words. I am astonished. With burlesque fury stay, I will surprise you too. Hark! I permit you. He pretends to be seeking for something to tease her with, and to have found it, that it is something new, to pray for me, tonight, at chapel time. Roxanne, oh. Cyrano, laughing, good Sister Martha is struck dumb. Sister Martha, gently, I did not wait your leave to pray for you. She goes out. Cyrano, turning to Roxanne, who is still bending over her work, that tapestry. Beshrew me if my eyes will ever see it finished. Roxanne, I was sure to hear that well-known jest. A light breeze causes the leaves to fall. Cyrano, the autumn leaves. Roxanne, lifting her head, and looking down the distant alley, soft golden brown, like a Venetian's hair. See how they fall. Cyrano, I, see how brave they fall, in their last journey downward from the bough, to rot within the clay, yet, lovely still, hiding the horror of the last decay, with all the wayward grace of careless flight. Roxane, what, melancholy, you? Cyrano, collecting himself, nay, Roxane. Roxane, then let the dead leaves fall the way they will. And chat. What, have you nothing new to tell, my court gazette? Cyrano, listen. Roxane, ah. Cyrano, growing whiter and whiter. Saturday the 19th, having eaten to excess of pere conserve, the king felt feverish, the lancet quelled this treasonable revolt, and the August pulse beats at normal pace. At the Queen's ball on Sunday 30 score of best white waxen tapers were consumed. Our troops, they say, have chased the Austrians. For sorcerers were hanged. The little dog of Madame d'Athos took a dose. Roxane, I bid you hold your tongue, Monsieur de Bergerac. Cyrano, Monday, not much. Claire changed protector. Roxane, oh. Cyrano, whose face changes more and more. Tuesday, the court repaired to Fontainebleau. Wednesday, the Montglat said to Comte de Fiesque. No. Thursday, Mancini, Queen of France. Almost. Friday, the Montglat to Count Fiesque said yes. And Saturday the 26th. He closes his eyes. His head falls forward. Silence. Roxane, surprised at his voice ceasing, turns round, looks at him, and rising, terrified he swoons. She runs toward him crying Cyrano. Cyrano, opening his eyes, in an unconcerned voice, what is this? He sees Roxane bending over him, and, hastily pressing his hat on his head, and shrinking back in his chair. Nay, on my word 'tis nothing. Let me be. Roxane, but. Cyrano, that old wound of Eris, sometimes, as you know. Roxane, dear friend. Cyrano, 'tis nothing, 'twill pass soon. He smiles with an effort. See, it is past. Roxane, each of us has his wound. I have mine, never healed up, not healed yet, my old wound. She puts her hand on her breast. 'Tis here, beneath this letter, brown with age, all stained with teardrops, and still stained with blood. Twilight begins to fall. Cyrano, his letter. Ah! You promised me one day that I should read it. Roxane, what would you, his letter? Cyrano, yes, I would fain, today. Roxane, giving the bag hung at her neck. See. Here it is. Cyrano, taking it, have I your leave to open? Roxane, open, read. She comes back to her tapestry frame, folds it up, sorts her wools. Cyrano, reading. Roxane, adieu. I soon must die. This very night, beloved, and I feel my soul heavy with love untold. I die. No more, as in days of old, my loving, longing eyes will feast on your least gesture, the least. I mind me the way you touch your cheek with your finger, softly, as you speak. Ah me! I know that gesture well. My heart cries out, I cry farewell. Roxane, but how you read that letter! One would think. Cyrano, continuing to read, my life, my love, my jewel, my sweet, my heart has been yours in every beat. The shades of evening fall imperceptibly. Roxane, you read in such a voice, so strange, and yet it is not the first time I hear that voice. She comes nearer very softly, without his perceiving it, passes behind his chair, and, noiselessly leaning over him, looks at the letter. The darkness deepens. Cyrano, here, dying, and there, in the land on high, I am he who loved, who loves you, I. Roxane, putting her hand on his shoulder. How can you read? It is too dark to see. He starts, turns, sees her close to him. Suddenly alarmed, he holds his head down. Then in the dusk, which has now completely enfolded them, she says, very slowly, with clasped hands, and, 14 years long, he has played this part of the kind old friend who comes to laugh and chat. Cyrano, Roxane. Roxane, 'twas you. Cyrano, no, never. Roxane, no. Roxane, I should have guessed, each time he said my name. Cyrano, no, it was not I. Roxane, it was you. Cyrano, I swear. Roxane, I see through all the generous counterfeit, the letters, you. Cyrano, no. Roxane, the sweet, mad love words. You. Cyrano, no. Roxane, the voice that thrilled the night, you. Cyrano, I swear you err. Roxane, the soul, it was your soul. Cyrano, I loved you not. Roxane, you loved me not? Cyrano, 'twas he. Roxane, you loved me. Cyrano, no. Roxane, see. How you falter now. Cyrano, no, my sweet love, I never loved you. Roxane, ah. Things dead, long dead, see. How they rise again. Why keep silence all these 14 years, when, on this letter, which he never wrote, the tears were your tears? Cyrano, holding out the letter to her, the bloodstains were his. Roxane, why then, that noble silence, kept so long, broken today for the first time, why? Cyrano, why? Loubret and Ragueneau enter running.